1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, Rituro here with another episode of Blue and White, my video review, video diary, let's play of Football Manager 2014, specifically with the Vancouver Whitecaps in Major League Soccer. Lots to get to today and a very, very short time to get to it, so let's get right down to the nitty-gritty, starting off with a viewer question. Why do I play in MLS despite the heavy wage cap and other restrictions? Thank you for the question. Mitzi, I believe the name was. The short answer is because that's where the Vancouver Whitecaps play, and they are the team that I follow. As far as the wage restrictions and the other rules, honestly, I like a bit of a challenge. When I'm playing Football Manager or any game out there, if I can, sprinkle it up a little bit, spice it up a bit, try and find some extra challenge to overcome, I will gladly tackle that. And if you're playing Major League Soccer with all of its team registration rules, there are no shortage of challenges. So that's why I play Major League Soccer. Thank you very much for the question. As always, if you have any questions, comments, questions, concerns, questions, I think I've said questions 3 or 4 times now, you can leave a comment on my YouTube channel, youtube.ca/steelswords. Leave me a message on Twitch, twitch.tv/Rituro. Thank you very much for all your feedback, and I look forward to receiving it. Let's get to the all-important stuff here. What has been happening since last we checked in? Well, Kyle Porter had his debut, and it did not go well. Well, I mean, he scored a goal, which was great. 1 appearance, 1 goal, 7.5 rating, but he is now out with the damaged Achilles tendon for 2 to 3 months. So, good thing I got him on the cheap. Oh, my goodness. Horrible, horrible. The highs and the lows for Kyle Porter. He is not the only Vancouver player to be suffering from injury. Darren Maddox, and this is also not good either, out for 3 months with a broken ankle, and this forced him out of the Jamaican national team. He was called up to the provisional 30-man roster for the World Cup. We'll get to that later, but a horrible, horrible setback for Maddox to lose out on the World Cup. Other roster information to talk about here, and it's actually a pretty important one. We have just signed in Ian Hume on a free transfer, signed him in as his contract is expiring. He'll be joining just as Kenny Miller is leaving, signed actually for a very reasonable, actually below his current wage with Preston. Very, very happy with that. Get some more Canadian content, get a good striker, and this will be great because with Maddox out, we're going to need some top striking talent. And honestly, the flip of Kenny Miller for Ian Hume, that's no problem for me. I will gladly take that. I lose the ability to play on the left, but I mean, I would love to have another striker up top, and certainly someone with as much experience as Hume. I mean, 37 appearances, 4 goals for the Canadian national team. Gladly put that on the roster for cheaper than Kenny Miller. Yes, unfortunately, Miller is still being 2014. In the real world, of course, Miller's contract was mutually terminated, and he went on to sign with the Rangers. But in this digital world, Miller is with us only until the end of June, and then he's gone. Other roster information here. As you recall the Dominic Gantar saga, I had to do something to keep Gantar. But I have good news. He is with us. He is still on the squad. He is a legitimate player because we moved on. Alejandro Lopez, one of our draft picks, is now with the U23 squad. He is safely transferred away. I'll put him on the reserve squad there. So he's off the roster. He no longer takes up that reserve spot. Gantar can take it. Gantar is safe. So as I mentioned, Maddox is out with injury, cannot attend the World Cup, but Johnny Leverone can. He was called up with Honduras. Good for you, Johnny. Congratulations. A great, great day for him as he makes, I believe, yes, he does indeed make the 23-man roster. Good for you, Johnny Leverone. Now, of course, in the real world, that didn't happen. But you know what else didn't happen in the real world? These World Cup groups. Let's take a look at the World Cup groups in Football Manager. This is what would happen if the World Cup happened in Football Manager. Now, of course, the qualifying fixtures are not the same. So teams that may have been already eliminated in 2013 when this save file started suddenly made a comeback. So, for example, Group A, we've got Brazil, Japan, Morocco, and Russia. Ooh, I would take Brazil, and I'm going to say Japan out of that. Maybe Russia to surprise in second. Group B, Algeria, South Korea, Spain, and Turkey. I would probably take Spain and South Korea out of that group. Spain's, of course, legendary collapse in the real 2014 World Cup may not replicate itself inside Football Manager. Group C, Argentina, Australia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Norway. I'll take Argentina and Bosnia. very similar to the actual Argentina-Bosnia prediction most people were making for the real World Cup. Group D, Belgium, Cameroon, the Czech Republic, and the USA. I'll take Belgium and the US out of that group. Group E, Colombia, Honduras, Ivory Coast, and Portugal. This might be the closest we have to a group of death. Maybe. Tough to pick out of this one. I would take Portugal and Ivory Coast. Group F, Egypt, Mexico, Switzerland, and Uruguay. Wow. This is not a fun group either. Wow. I'll take Uruguay. Oh, man. Toss up for second place. I'll say Switzerland. Say Switzerland. Group G, Chile, Croatia, Germany, Saudi Arabia. I'll take Germany and Chile. And Group H, England, Italy, Jamaica, and Peru. I'll go with England and Italy there. So that is the World Cup as far as Football Manager is concerned. We'll check in with that later and see how the World Cup is progressing. Two other pieces of note here. Was the United States squad. Let's take a look at the U.S. squad here. Tim Howard, Timothy Chandler, Omar Gonzalez, Tim Ream makes it in over Jeff Cameron. Okay. Edgar Castillo, really? Michael Bradley, Alejandro Bedoya, Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan does make it. Brad Gazan, John Anthony Brooks, Fabian Johnson, Terrence Boyd over Josie Altidore. Wow. Matt Besler, Jose Francisco Torres, Aaron Johansson, William Yarbrough. Apparently he is an uncapped, eligible for the team. Over Nick Raimondo? Alright. Michael Rosa Fiscal, Breck Shea, Sasha Cleston, Maurice Adu, Mix Discroot, and Joe Corona. That is your 23-man roster for the U.S. And for my international viewers, well, I just wouldn't be fair to show the World Cup and not show England's squad here. So let's take a quick peek at the English squad in Football Manager 2014. England. Glenn Johnson, Gary Cahill, Phil Jones, Leighton Baines, Jack Wilshire, James Milner, Ross Barkley, Ashley Young, Ben Foster, Stephen Culver, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Ashley Cole, Michael Carrick, Kyle Walker, Fraser Forster, Alex McCarthy, Phil Jagielka, Kieran Gibbs, Stephen Gerrard, Aaron Lennon, Theo Walcott, Danny Welbeck, Wayne Rooney. No Joe Hart. Alrighty then. That is how it looks in the World Cup side. Alright, let's get back to the important news here. Yes, blah, blah, blah. Two very interesting pieces of news here. First off, I got a job offer. A job offer from, I want to see if this is here. It is FC Nuremberg. Straight up offered me a job. This is the first time a club has ever approached me for a job. Nuremberg, of course, in the Bundesliga. However, they did get relegated, and I'm guessing that was the end of their head coach. Their previous head coach. I, however, rejected that outright. I had no intention of leaving Vancouver. Even as fun as it would be to try out the German second division, I'm not leaving Vancouver. But I'm honored by the offer. It's the first time I've ever been headhunted by another team, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And the other piece of weirdness is a very strange trade that just went down. I'm going to see if it is. Here it is. Okay. New England and San Jose have traded, and the Revs now get Clarence Goodson. Now, that's a pretty massive pickup for New England, but they only gave up $1.8K from their allocation funds and a second-round pick. Now, if that were $180,000, I could see that happening, but I'm pretty sure there is a specific rule that you cannot offer less than $75,000 from your allocation budget, so this seems like a pretty glaring bug. So if anyone from a Football Manager or from Sports Interactive is watching this, I think I found a bug. Alright, that's what's been happening. A lot of stuff that we covered there. Let's get to the matches that have happened since our last game. Oh my goodness, we got some good ones in here. We got some really good ones. We'll start off with Portland. As you know, the 3-0 drubbing to move to the final of the Canadian Championship was a fantastic result. But it gets more fantastic. A 4-0 over Portland. Absolutely fantastic. This is where Porter scored his goal and then was helped off the field. Will Johnson also received 2 yellow cards, which made life even better. So let's take a look at the goals because, anytime you get to watch beating up on a fierce derby rival, it's good times. It's good times for everybody. Alright, so here's the first goal. Miller actually converting the penalty. It was a fairly soft penalty there, but hey, I'll take it against Portland. I will take the penalty. Not the long celebration there. All right, here we go. Off throw in Garce to Chara. Plays it inside to Will Johnson. Diego Valeri, Goes forward, but Bayshore cuts that out. Chris Schuler will hold on to it. Goes back to Borjan. Borjan plays the long ball up the field. Wallace tries to get Walter Johnson, but Rio Coker intercepts to Holt. Rio Coker now to Maddox. To Porter. Porter to Rio Coker. Out wide to Bayshore. Bayshore inside to Porter, who first time shoots it through Donovan Ricketts. Now, the game thinks this was a cross to the back post, and I would tend to agree, seeing how horribly Ricketts flubbed it, but Porter gets his goal, and then an own goal as the free kick gets bundled off of Garce. Well taken ball there by Holt. 3-0, and now 10-man Portland are in all kinds of trouble. The Kleber free kick eventually comes back to Kleber, who gets it to Demerit to Alderson. Rio Coker to Demerit. Just good possession game here. Holt gets it inside to Maddox. His first shot is blocked by Pamaruka, but the second one is powered past Ricketts. 4-0. 4-0 Vancouver. A great result over a fierce rival. A quick look at the Cascadia Cup standings here. Vancouver on top, 8 points over Seattle and Portland, who are tied at 4. Now, we have played 5 games. Seattle and Portland have only played 3 and 4, respectively, so it is still conceivably possible that with 2 wins, Seattle could, in fact, suddenly leap ahead in the standings. But we will all hope that it doesn't get to that point. After that Portland match, we were on a pretty big high, and we went away to LA, getting a 1-1 draw in the Step-Up Center. Unfortunately, Tiernan Hart picked up an injury and scored a goal. Good for Tiernan Hart. And we were doing so well soaking up pressure to possibly escape with that 1-0 result, but unfortunately Samuel would equalize. Tybert off the corner. It's headed away by Samuel. However, Bayshore gets it right back into Tybert to Hart, who just powers it top corner. Let's take a look at that goal here. Something very strange. This was the second time I actually saw it that day when I was playing. So here's Tybert on the second ball. Watch what is Maddox doing, charging into the area. And he stays there. Tybert receives it, passes it back. There's Hart's shot. Now, when Hart takes the shot, Maddox is now in line. So the goal is onside. But the play leading up to it, I mean, I don't know what Maddox was doing, but I would have had no problem seeing that goal called off for offside. Thankfully, it wasn't. And Vancouver was looking pretty good. Like I said, we soaked up waves of pressure, just frustrating them, not allowing shots. But unfortunately, it was not to be, as you can't let even an injured Samuel alone for 2 seconds. Hart to Kofi to Hart. They look for a way just to kill the game off here. Unfortunately, Alderson to Bayshore, to Alderson to Hart. The youngster, Alderson to Kofi to Hart. There's that pick. AJ De La Garza to Landon Donovan, who first time finds Samuel, who beats all the defenders on the run, powers it past Borjan. And that is the 1-1 draw. Unfortunate to be sure, but we got a point in an away match. Can't be too unhappy about that. And then that brings us to FC Edmonton, the first leg of the Canadian Championship. And who would have thought that FC Edmonton... See, this is how I wanted the real world Voyageurs Cup for 2014 to play out. All-Western final, Vancouver, Edmonton. Unfortunately, it was not to be in the real world. Montreal winning it. Not that I'm angry. But what we have here is a 2-2 draw, which actually flatters Vancouver big time. We played hammerhead formation here, trying to get as many people in and just kill the game with pace and speed and attacking prowess, and Edmonton was not having it. They went shot for shot with us. 12-17 were the shots, and they were good shots. I mean, I had Gantar and Nat. I played a very young squad. Lewis, and those back three are all 17 years old. So, I mean, Adekugbe, O'Connor, had Tybert come off the bench. It was very much a Canadian squad and a young Canadian squad at that. Lewis did not have his best game. We went ahead on a penalty, and for Frank Jonk equalized in the 86th minute to level the tie, though 2 away goals, as we saw against Toronto, away goals, kind of important. I mean, we did win 6-3 on aggregate, so maybe not that important. Here's the first incident of note off the restart. Should have been better possession from Vancouver. They do well to keep it in the back. But Lewis runs out of ideas here. Gives it back to O'Connor. Salgado to Maddox, but he can't get a good shot away. Salgado tries to find an avenue in, goes back to O'Connor. Demerit plays it up to Holt. To Adekugbe. Tries to cross in, but it's grabbed by Smits. And Smits punts the ball downfield, finds Sunsing to Blanco. Fordyce, Santa Maria Ford to Sunsing, and he gets it past the youngster Gantar, making it 1-0 for FC Edmonton. And that scoreline would hold for an uncomfortably long time for me. For a good 50 minutes, that scoreline would hold. Again, I'm playing full hammerhead attack here. I gave them the hairdryer treatment during the break, and they responded. Salgado, cheeky little toe tap. They counted as Mane, because Salgado was actually tackling the player, not the ball. So the credit goes to Mane with the goal. Then Miller from the spot converts the penalty in the upper 90. 2-1. I'm breathing a little sigh of relief here that we're actually going to walk out of here with the full 3 points and the advantage in the series. However, there's a reason FC Edmonton knocked off Montreal, and it's not just because Montreal is horrible. What should be a routine, let's just hold the ball 5 minutes and kill the clock. Demeritte foolishly gives the ball away. Jonks in all alone beats the youngster Gantar, equals the tie, and we go back to Vancouver all tied up at 2 apiece. In fact, that will be our featured match today, is the second leg of the Canadian Championship with the Voyageurs Cup on the line. Before we get to that, we have a 1-3 loss at home. This was just a comedy of errors. Mane scored to open it after Maddox was injured, so good start from Mane, but then Rio Coker, within a span of 2 minutes, picks up 2 yellow cards, is sent off, and it just collapses from there. Eric Avila with the brace. Kleber adds an own goal, and it's just, things go pretty bad here. I had Bendik in net, played most of the first team here to try and get a good 3 points here at home, but it was just not to be. So Bill Hamid here on the restart, only as far as Schuler, heads it away. Rio Coker picks it up, gets it to Mesquita, inside to Curry. Rio Coker, little cheeky backheel there. The backheel then forward to Curry again, who finds Mesquita. Mesquita into the area. Curry's shot does this weird little... Let's look at that again, shall we? Here's another crazy little ball deflection bug. So we've got it's Miller in the box. Let's take a look here. So the ball comes into Curry. He does a nice little forward pass to Miller. Miller and Park somehow managed to trap the ball between them, and it finally just falls to Mane, who buries it. Very bizarre match engine physics there. Unfortunately, we could not result on further quirks of the game to keep us in the match, as a Rio Coker sending off suddenly changed the entire complexion of the game. I dropped Curry out of that attacking mid role and decided to just forego any form of attacking midfield presence, keeping everything, trying to lock down the center. Unfortunately, it was not good enough as Avila scoots one underneath Bendik. Indeed, it was a great effort by Avila. That strike 1 goal of the week, unfortunately. Avila off the corner here. Little scramble up the line. Kleber gets credited with the own goal with the flubbed clearance. And Avila would then cap the night, snuffing out any chance of a comeback with a free kick that Bendik absolutely should have had. As you can imagine, Bendik will not be featuring for the first team anytime soon. I would rather put Gantar in net at this point than have Bendik in net. Which brings us to a 0-0 draw away to Chivas, which is a lot better than it sounds, considering how surprisingly good Chivas can be. Don't let those 15 points fool you. This is still the defending MLS Cup champs, which, there's a phrase I think all of us agree will never be uttered in real life, but they can still cause some consternation. Which brings us to the Voyageurs Cup. This is the big one, folks. This is going to be for the Voyageurs Cup, and it's our featured match of the day. Let's get right to it here. Diego Macedo's trial is finishing as the Canadian Championship starts. He is a right back. He's okay, but I mean, I've got Beitashour, got Rio Coker. I got Franco Lewis. Not really looking for a right back. So the trial is certainly good. If I ever lost Beitashour, I'd definitely bring him in. Leverone has been called up for the World Cup. Absolutely. Oh, nice. And we see a little bit of a compensation. Isn't that nice? Not interested. Attacking set pieces. I think we should be okay. I mean, these are all one-star players, but I mean, somehow they are putting together a compelling case for an underdog win here. However, I have something to say about that thing being not on my watch. I haven't actually set my roster yet for this match. I'm going to have to think about this here. One's player of the week. Nobody here. Not interested. Good crowd expected. Oh my goodness, 43,000 tickets. They're opening the upper deck in BC Place. Oh my goodness. Now there's something I think we can all agree should happen in real life. It doesn't, sadly, but it should. Villafania did all right. Just keep my eye on him as a potential replacement for Kleber once his contract expires. To keep an eye on that. All right, here we go. Canadian Championship. Bendick has made some improvement. He has not. I tend to disagree rather heavily with that. Masters trials finished. Good for him. All right, who are we playing? Becher, Schuler, Demerit, Kleber. Yes. Let's drop Kofi to the left and Rio Coker to the right. Mesquita, Holt, and who plays on the left? I think we will put Miller on the left. Let's put... Actually... No, I take that back. Put Miller up top. Mane and Salgado and Tybert. Gotta get my Canadian content in there. Mesquita's actually struggling for fitness. Maybe coming off sooner than later. Alright, I think everything else here is pretty set in stone. In fact, I'm even going to put Kantar in as the substitute keeper here because of how horribly Bendick played last round. Alright, I do believe we are set. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the Voyageurs Cup. Alright, can Vancouver repeat as Voyageurs Cup champions? Can FC Edmonton win their first? Let's see. I think we're going to keep a very close eye on these strikers after they gave us so much grief, surprisingly. Keep an eye on the right sides. Close them down. Alright. I am expecting good. You should all know what is required of you today. Get out there. Make them pay. Alright, Vancouver in their white, FC Edmonton in the black. This is the final match in the defense of the Voyageurs Cup. Vancouver currently lead on away goals. It's an early free kick for Blanco, who just puts that over. Fordyce. His own free kick, Borjan grabs that. I'm not liking this whole free kicks here. I think we may need to just take a step back here. Oh, he left the yellow card. Not good. Oh, Beitashour, I'm sorry. Borjan with the goal kick in the 13th minute. Headed away by Blanco, though. Sun Singh. Looking for Fordyce. Fordyce on the hop. Puts it in the back of the net. Oh, my goodness. In the 14th minute, FC Edmonton have taken the lead. How does Vancouver respond? Rio Coker to Mesquita to Beitashour. Beitashour to Mesquita. Holt, saved by Parker. Good save there by Lance Parker. Tybert with the corner now. Looking for someone in the area, but Peterson will head it back. Tybert again. Out to Kofi. Kleber. Oh, looking for Tybert, but he was offside. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. We have been committing too many fouls, I would agree. Well, my goodness, this is a definite problem. Aggressive. Do you even want to win this match? That's right. Now let's try controlling this game, shall we? Higher tempo. Let's see if we can outrun them. Ooh, someone's injured. Lavati. Well, that never said that I am not opportunistic. Tackle him. Fordyce gets a yellow card. Miller is not looking good up top here. Alright, Miller, you're done. You're not performing well. And I kind of don't want to lose to FC Edmonton here. Badershirt's on a card. Alright. Double substitution. Kleber with the free kick. Just over the bar. Alright. Okay, switch to attacking. Fordyce has come off. Jonk has come on. Let's just keep an eye on him, shall we? Jonk does get a header onto it, but Kleber is the first to the ball. Inside to Holt, to Tybert. Back to Holt. Looks for Mane. He's found Mane. Mane! Kakuta Mane has scored. It's leveled at 1-1. Mane off the bench has put the cup back in Vancouver's hands. Oh, thank you, Kakuta Mane. Tybert to Holt. Holt, this wonder Scottish kid, to Mane. Waits, first touch, great finish. Alright, we suddenly have life here. Let's see if we can keep that going. Alright, how are we doing here? I think this is where we bring off Rio Coker. Bring on Alderson to help see this game out. Oh, but it's a throw in here for the Eddies. But it doesn't go as well as it could have, and Tybert heads it to safety. Blanco. Lavati, I'm sorry. Blanco. Holbein. Headed away by Franco Lewis. Blanco still has it. Santa Maria. Holbein. Out wide for Peterson. It's for Jonk, but Kleber is there. Lavati. Peterson again. Borjan tip. That cross gave him a little bit of difficulty. Santa Maria headed away by Mosqueda. Alderson comes on. Canadian content. Jacob Peterson is injured. Good job, Alderson. Instant impact. 3 minutes of extra time. Borjan to Kofi. Is there still a winner here? Vancouver fans certainly hope not. Mane to Alderson. Plays in Holt. Jason Holt to seal it. Holt! 4-3 Vancouver. Away goals will not be needed. Jason Holt with the dagger. A BC Place packed crowd. Holt just barely onside with the shot that surely has engraved the name of Vancouver on the Voyageurs Cup for the second year in a row. And now comes the tough ask of hoping that they can hold on. Edmonton need to score 2. Oh, we've almost reached the 93rd minute. Schuler does well to bring down Gray. It's a clean tackle, and Kleber clears it out for a goal kick. Parker wants to take this quickly, and he will. But it's headed away. Holbein. Frank Jonk. Shot is blocked. It's a corner. Possibly the last kick of the game here. From Santa Maria. It's out. It crosses the line. Surely that must be it. That is! That's it! For the second year in a row, the Whitecaps have won the Voyageurs Cup. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jason Holt and Kakuta Mane. It was an early scare, but they did it. Oh, my goodness. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness. And Kakuta Mane actually, with that goal, wins the Golden Boot for the tournament. Oh my goodness. That was far more stressful than I think a match against an NASL side has any right to be. But Vancouver will indeed qualify for the North American Champions League, the CONCACAF Champions League, for the second year in a row. That, I think, is a good day. I won it 2 times in a row, nothing short of a miracle. Hey! They are delighted. Quest new contract, eh? Well, I'll pass on that. Hooray! Done wonders to win it with the players' disposal. Excuse me. I have a fantastic squad, Martin Nash. Thank you very much. Ugh. Oh, Spain beats the US in friendly. Kafari's doing okay. Vancouver sees off the Eddies. Fans jubilant. Fans jubilant. My phone apparently is jubilant as well. The board is delighted. Mane, top goal scorer. Carlos Curry, top assist getter. Vancouver have qualified for the Champions League. Oh. The whole squad is in a huge high. Yes. No, I have to have that pressure. That's right. But we won it last year. What are you talking about? It's brilliant. I'm thoroughly delighted. Woohoo! Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this wonderful celebratory episode of Blue and White. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a comment on either my Twitch page, twitch.tv/Rituro, or on my YouTube page, youtube.ca/Steel Swords. Follow me on Twitter @ThatRituroGuy. And again, thank you all for watching. My name is Rituro. We'll see you next time.